chosen ones, empaths, you've got to understand that the narcissist anticipated losing you before you either got rid of them or they discarded you, right? They were learning how to cope with losing you from before it even took place. You could have been still laying together. You could have still been in a normal family dynamic, normal family dynamic, like you think it's normal. You don't realize they're a narcissist. But they always preempted you walking out on them. They always preempted losing you, okay? That's what you've got to understand. They always preempted losing you from before it even took place, okay? So a lot of them resorted to the discard because they thought they were going to lose you anyway. They thought that you were going to run out on them. They thought that you were going to disappear from their lives, you see? But it's very easy that how people make out that the narcissist is this infamous person that goes around and can hurt everyone's feelings and stuff like that. And it's not that they don't have emotions. They have self-absorbed emotions. You see how it makes them feel, how everything makes them feel. It's like the world revolves around them. So it's all to do with them, you see. So this is why pre-discard or before you got rid of them, they were anticipating this because you were making them feel a certain way. They were already losing you from before you realized it. You were slipping away. Naturally, something that's just getting drained and drained and drained and drained and drained. We changed. I've made videos before how we mirror back to them what they are, how we do these certain things. But the fact of the matter is we changed through the course of the relationship. We stopped being so subservient. We managed to kind of have some resilience about us. And this is when the narcissist felt like they were losing us and we were slipping away from them. Okay? So this hasn't even come to the crunch yet of when they've actually lost us. This was when we were still in their vicinity. And as I said before in a previous video, they're codependent upon supply. They're dependent upon supply. They need supply. They need it. They need you. Yeah? So that's why when they felt like they were losing you, they felt like they were losing you a bit, they had to either escalate the situation, discard you, or cause some drama or something like that to make you push them away. Please press the like and the subscribe button. Help your brother out. It will take 2 seconds of your time. Thank you. But getting back to the point, right? They felt like they were losing you from before. You've got to look back. They felt like they were losing you. The signs are there. They saw it around them. I mean, you could have gone out, right, with a bunch of friends, right, and they were staying at home that night, for example, and they were absolutely petrified that you were going to find someone else. You could go to work, yeah, and they're sitting at home or sitting wherever they are, yeah, and they're preempting you finding someone else. So they're working out all these alternative routes. They're very premeditative. I hope you can hear me. It's a bit windy, but they're very premeditative. So they line things up. But you've got to understand is things don't always line up the way you plan them. Yeah, they planned for a certain thing to happen, right? They were preempting that you were going to run out of them. They were preempting this, and this is their fear of losing you. So eventually, if they've actually gained enough courage to actually do the discard, for them to do this discard, they've gained enough courage for them to feel like if they leave you, you're going to be unworthy, unlovable, and never get over them, right? So that's why they hit us with that, because they've seen us slipping away. So they tried to throw something in the mix to get us back on track, right? Because a narcissist never really gets rid of you. They put you on the shelf for a little bit. They put you away for a bit. You know what I mean? And if we keep feeding into them, the longer they'll stay away, right? But when there's a separation between you two, when there's an actual separation, like everything I've just mentioned is prior to you actually separating, they feared losing you. And not a lot of people talk about that. They really do fear losing you. But let's say now the separations take place, you've gone your separate ways. This is when everything they premeditated and everything they preempted to happen doesn't line up the way they planned it. They didn't plan that they would feel like they've lost a supply when they got rid of you. They didn't plan it to that, because they built themselves up so high with so much courage, thinking they could discard you or separate from you. It's only when they get out into the real world, it actually hits them like a, you know, like a second blow. Like, they thought they knew, because they'd gone over it so much in their minds when they were with you about if they lost you. They felt like they illusionarily built themselves up to seem like they have courage, right? They built themselves up to that point where they felt like, okay, I can discard this individual, right? I can discard them, or I can cause them so much problems to see how far I can push them, and you've pushed them away, say. But they thought they could handle it. But when the separation takes place, that's when they get another reinforcement and this second blow for them to know that they can't actually handle it. They can't actually handle the separation taking place. And in a lot of circumstances, I've seen through the comment section and in my own experience, it's such a disastrous situation has happened, it's very hard for them to get back in. Especially if us lot are putting up like resilience and we're not letting them back in that easy. It's very hard for them to get back into our lives. So as I've mentioned before, they begin to wander down other avenues. They think, okay, right, for me to really hurt them and cause them a blow, for me to really destroy them now, I thought me leaving wasn't enough. So they'll start plastering they'll start plastering their social medias with new suppliers, or they try and sort out a new supply again. And a lot of them run into suppliers that they're not that satisfied with, right? They're not that satisfied with, and they don't glorify it on their social media. That's why I say if they've gone ghost, just know that they've downgraded and they don't want to plaster it on their social media. But even if they do plaster it on their social media, they've still downgraded, but it's a desperate attempt. Sorry. It's a desperate attempt to try and make you jealous, insecure, invoke all these negative feelings within your spirit and your soul, right? That's all they're trying to aim for you to do, to try and finish you off, okay? But it's actually them projecting their own feelings of losing you onto you. So they're projecting these feelings to make you feel like you lost them. Are you with me? I hope you are, because that's what it is. They're projecting these feelings onto you about you losing them to try and put you in the mind state that they're feeling. Remember, they're very self-absorbed. The whole world revolves around them. So therefore, if they're feeling like they're lost without you, and they lost you, and they feel like they're suffering from it, they want to make you feel the same way. They want to make you feel like you're lost without them. They want to make you feel like you need them back in your life. So that's why they go for these attempts. So if you haven't seen these attempts yet, just be patient. It's going to happen. But I've already given you the information now. So when you see it, you'll be a step ahead, and you'll be able to say to yourself, okay, rare, these lot are doing exactly what that channel I watched said. You get me? You're going to see it, and you're going to say, right, them feelings of insecurity, I don't need to do it, because I know what they're doing. If you look behind the veil with a narcissist, so you've got to get to the crunch of it all. When you look behind the veil, they can no longer hurt you. Yeah? The whole reason why they hurt us is because we're still seeing through those love goggles, you know? We're still seeing through that fuzzy vision of them. We're still seeing through the love bomb. We're still seeing them in that light. We have to destroy that. And when you destroy that, you look behind the veil. So therefore, anything that you encounter of their behavior, you will realize it's done with you in mind. Some of you have been with these narcissists for long periods in time. Some have been with a few years. But it's still a substantial amount of time that you spend in someone's company. Bonds are created. Dependency issues are created. They're meant to be your companion. Companions are meant to be lifelong. So it's naturally that we lean on someone, or, you know, both male and female. We both gain different things from each other, and we both, you know, we lean on each other. You know, that's how it is. That's how a functional relationship works. We both bring things to the table, and we're not in a relationship just to get things from the other person. You know, a real relationship is not about gaining from the other person. It's about coexisting together and forming one union under God or the universe. That's what it's meant to be about. So there's a lot of things that the narcissist gained by being with you, and you've got to count those things. Sometimes think back and say, you know what? I've done this. I've done that. I've done this. And then when you look at the situation, you've got to say to yourself, there's actually not another person on the earth that's going to do what I've done for them. And there's not. There's not. So just know that the narcissist is truly suffering without you, right? And by losing you, it's causing them severe suffering. And this is what I'm saying. Back to the beginning of the video, they already thought they were losing you anyway. When your supply started to get withered and become less potent, less pure, you know, because naturally they're draining you, right? This is when they felt like you were slipping through the grasps of their fingers. They felt like they were losing you from a long time before. Yeah, and that's why they often make the attempt to finally brutalize you and hurt you to gain control. They're very controlling. The world revolves around them and they're very controlling. But this is where we can flip the control in our court. Because once we stop looking through them fuzzy love goggles, yeah, we stop looking at them, you know, as an ex-husband, ex-wife, ex-girlfriend, ex-boyfriend. They are that, yeah? But they're not really. They're a counterfeit soulmate. They're someone that the enemy sent, the devil sent your way to jeopardize your life, to enter your life, to drain you of assets, to drain you of energy, to drain you of these kind of things. That's what they were sent for, right? Vile, disgusting individuals. That's what they were sent for. You know what I mean? So they're a counterfeit soulmate. But the narcissist finds it very hard to deal with losing you. Going back to the title of the video, right? They find it very hard in losing you. So as I said, they've gone down these attempts. I went off track a bit, but they've gone down these attempts maybe now, yeah? So past the separation point. They were already premeditating it before you separated. They're resorting to clutching at straws. And they're plastering the social media, or they've gone on a disappearing act and they're not promoting their new supply. They're making these new supplies, trying to make these new supplies into you. Like Dr. Frankenstein in their laboratory. They're creating all of these, you know, supplies. And none of them are working out. Scratch their head, hold on a minute, what's going on? What is going on? This person, you know, we used to do this for them, like us. Why don't it happen again? Trust me, they knew they were lucky running into you. You think they didn't know they were lucky? Of course they knew they were lucky. I don't even believe in luck. But I'm just using the abbreviation to summarize what they're thinking. You know what I mean? I believe in the divine decree of God or the universe, you know. I believe that we bestowed blessings in abundance and we get blessings, you know. That's the way I look at it. But luck, I understand what people mean by it, so I use the terminology there. But they knew they were very blessed to have you in their lives. They knew that from a long time, and that's why they thought they were losing you from before you even separated. So now they're out there. They're training these new supplies. But this new supply is potentially a psychopath. This new supply is running game on them. Or this new supply is a sociopath running game on them. Or they're another narcissist operating with the mask, running game on them. And it don't work out, how things don't line up the way they planned them. Now, you're watching videos like this. You're not suffering as much as you were. You're getting a type of healing. And it's not me healing you. You see what I mean? It's not I'm just basically locating things within inside your body that's in there anyway. It's already in your brain. You know this. But it's lost between the fog of the narcissist. And we're in a complete fog afterwards, you see. But videos like this will help you locate it. So every bit of strength that you feel that you get from this video is coming from within inside your own self. They weren't anticipating that you'd be getting this kind of healing. They weren't anticipating that whatsoever. This is because you're seeing behind the veil. You're on these videos. You're understanding their true nature of the narcissist. You're breaking it down to the core and the essence and the source of what it's about. And this is giving you therapy. This is giving you healing, you see. They're not out there doing that. Their therapy is going to sleep with another supply. Their therapy, oh sorry, I burped, sorry about that. Their therapy is trying to train new supplies. That's what their therapy is. Okay? That's what they're doing. Their therapy is being promiscuous. Is indulging in these things that only harm the self and only harm the soul. Right? Inflicting misery on others is their therapy. This only harms themselves. Anything they try and dish out, it will come back at them. It will come back at them. It will haunt them. And they're already haunted now. Some of them pushed you away. Some of them discarded you in the most brutal way. You see what I mean? And they thought, yeah, I've got it easy. I'm going to make them crumble. But you're not crumbling yet. You're here now. You're watching the videos. You're learning. You're educating yourself. You're healing. And at the same time, when you're doing this, they're on the flip side trying to post a new supply in your face to invoke feelings of jealousy and all that. Some of you have been going through this very shortly. It's just happened. Some longer, but doesn't matter about the time frame. Some of you experienced hoovers. Some of you haven't experienced hoovers. But I mentioned this in the video again, and just in case you never checked that one out, I'm going to say it again. We need to be able to implicate the door slam as a final, it's over. There's no redo over. You see? There's no more. You've got to create the impression and the picture that it's more easier for them to go and get an A-list celebrity by DMing their inbox than it is for being able to get back in your bed or back in your door or even sitting at your table and having a coffee or even having a conversation on the phone or even responding to their text message. They need to know in their hearts of hearts that it's easier for them to DM 1,000 A-list celebrities from Hollywood, right? And it's more chance that they'll get a reply back and be able to link up with a celebrity than it is with you. You see what I mean? And when we put ourselves on that plateau, on that basis, raising the bar that high of ourselves, having that much value, only letting people in our lives that are worthy of our time, compassion, empathy, and mercy and love. And we disregard them and know they're not worthy of our empathy, love, compassion, mercy, and all of that. They're not worthy of it, and they'll never get it again. And when we incorporate this into our lifestyle, our thinking, our DNA, our spirit, our soul, and this is how we function in the world, we send out a clear message that's felt within the energy that there's no going back and there's no way that they can ever get back in our lives. And we leave them alone, suffering with the loss of us. And then they'll have the realization that when they felt like they were losing us, like I mentioned at the beginning of the video, when we were with them in their lives, that wasn't really the loss. The loss is now. The loss is final. The loss is done. They've lost us for good. Yeah? So anyway, I hope this video helped. I'll leave the video there, yeah? And please press the like and the subscribe button. And if you want a one-to-one session, you can find the details in the description box. Anyway, I'll catch you all soon. Peace.